Hello, everyone. It's your boy Hunt back with another episode of Tabletop Recap. Of course, we have your co-host, Big Boy Chungus. Oh, ooh wee, oh, water deep, water deep. Just kidding. We're actually just bad friends. He's not here. Today I am with the long lost Kami and Karen, the Manager Slayer. Say hello.
Hey!
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, that's right. They're back, and they're on the attack. They're better than ever in Kami and Karen 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You can't say that word anymore.
Really?
Boogaloo's been banned.
No! I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We do have a fun game for you today. No TTRPGs. You guys are usually here for TTRPG stuff. But,
We're changing the game.
Literally,
yeah. Today we have a game by Matt Lecoq. That's his actual name.
Oh my gosh.
That's his name.
The face you made was great.
From Z-Man Games. Pandemic, international award-winning game. I'm not reading the box right now. Origins Award winner, BoardGameGeek.com Golden Geek 2. You know, it's won 4 awards. They're dope. And this an awesome game for ages 8 and up, 2 to 4 players. It takes 45 minutes.
I can't believe they let 8-year-olds, they recommend this for 8-year-olds, because I wouldn't recommend this unless you're in your teens.
Honestly, this is probably the most offensive game we could be reviewing right now.
Or the most appropriate.
I mean, it's how you want to spin that story.
Now that we've hit the vaccine point, maybe it's appropriate.
I think all of us at the table here have at least 1 dose in us, right?
I'm done.
I'm done.
You're both done?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got the one. The one.
Oh, you got the
Johnson.
JJ?
Yeah.
You got the JJ Abrams vaccine?
Yeah, that one.
The JJ Jameson vaccine?
Yeah.
Jonah Jameson.
You suddenly wanted pictures of Spider-Man after getting it. Mine
did,
gave me
actually.
5G, so I produce 5G wherever I go. But.
Oh, hey.
I actually just shrank by about 12 inches, grew some serious mutton chops, started wanting to call everybody bub.
I get mine in 4 days of this recording. I'll have had it for weeks by the time this is out, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll have had it for 2 weeks by the time this is out, which is exactly how long it takes for the antibodies to grow. So, yeah, pandemic. I remember you and I were at work, and you were naughty, and you texted me while we were working, and were like, hey, I want to get this game for Kami. And I was like, sure, here's a website with a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And
No, I just wanted the base game.
they didn't have the base game. They had expansions and reskinned versions, like a Cthulhu version. They didn't have the OG Pandemic. I'm going to let you guys kind of give us the rundown of the game because it's your game. And I usually let the person whose game it is do that. Also, I'm bad at describing rules.
I think you should describe.
Are we passing the buck to me?
It should definitely be you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to get dice for everyone?
Yeah, we should. I haven't done that in a while on any of the episodes,
Oh,
honestly.
really?
Rolling for initiative.
The traditions, how they die.
It just, most of the episodes are D&D and TTRPG now.
Mm-hmm.
And for those, we always do the DM first.
Yeah, but then you could roll after.
Yeah, but it just evolves in the conversation, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a
that's-
natural flow to it.
Wow.
It's like, if there's no afterlife, does it even matter?
This is
Where are we
right.
Back on
for?
Pandemic.
Yeah.
Pandemic is basically a giant risk board with a bunch of cities highlighted.
Yeah, well, I remember I looked at the board and you said like 2 things about it, and I was like, is this reverse risk?
You're not wrong. Because in Risk, everybody loses.
Makes it
Either
the
in the
perfect-
game
yeah.
or you lose your friends.
That makes it the perfect game, because I do not like Risk.
Yeah.
I had friends who made me play Star Wars Risk all the time, and it was crappy prequel Star Wars Risk.
You know, I don't mind Risk, but it's got to be the right crew, and they can't be too competitive. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
So Pandemic is actually a co-op board game.
Just like our favorite type.
Yeah, like teamwork makes the dream work. So it's all the players against the board. At the end of every player's turn, things happen. The virus continues to spread around the world, and the player's objective is to cure all 4 strains of the virus. How deep do we want to go on these rules? Because there's a bunch of them.
Well, here's the.
Just
rule
give us a
book.
basic run-up. You don't have to read the rule book to us.
Every character or every player at the table gets a special character with special abilities that they get to use throughout the game. Every city on the map has 2 cards, one in the infection deck, one in the player's deck. And as you go along, at the end of every player's turn, you will draw 2 cards from the player deck. Those go into your hand, and those can be various cities with various disease strains attached to that city. And then you also have to flip 2 infection cards, and the disease will continue to spread into those randomly drawn cities. How much further? I mean,
The objective of the game is to find the 4 cures for the different parts of the world, which are all designated by different colors. There you go. I mean, that's that's it.
You condensed it really well there.
I
I think that's the end of the episode. Bye, guys.
Yeah, we're done. No thoughts on the game, just that it exists. Best 5.5 minutes of your life, I bet.
I mean, maybe.
Possibly.
Let's see here.
I just felt like you were about to go really deep into rules, and it's like,
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to be too rulesy. That's what I'm avoiding.
So there is a reason that this game has like a bunch of expansions and just other versions, and that's because it's dope. When you whipped it out, I thought it would be hard to learn. It was not hard to learn. It was very easy. I picked up on this faster than I did Ramen Fury, and that's a game designed to be learned like instantly.
True.
yeah.
This is a more complicated, like hardcore tabletop gamer kind of game almost.
There's a lot of planning involved. Every player only gets 4 actions, so you're sitting there collaborating about, okay, if I do these 4 things, then you can do these 4 things on your next turn, and then he can do the next 4 things on his turn, and then maybe we survive.
Yeah, but usually I feel like we couldn't even get through a full round
That was
without
planned.
having to tweak our plans, at least a little bit.
Because as the virus crops up in new cities or overwhelms certain cities, you have to adjust your plans and handle immediate crises while trying to also long-term find the cures.
Yeah.
So basically, it's kind of a race against time kind of game. If the players run out of cards in their deck, you lose. If there are too many serious outbreaks, you lose.
What's like 7, 8?
8. Yeah, if there's 8 serious outbreaks and overflows into other cities, then you lose. And also, there are small markers that are used to put on the cities.
They look like little gummy candies, and I wanted to put them in my mouth the whole game because I'm 4 years old.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
I saw you eyeing them there, Karen.
Karen was a straight up chipmunk. She had her like big old full cheeks, ready for the winter.
Yeah.
I had to smack her on the back of the head. She'd spit one out like a Pez dispenser.
A couple went down the other way. Gonna have to poop out a couple pieces.
But if you run out of markers for a specific strain of the virus, then you also lose because that virus has gotten out of control.
Also, there's the thing that moves up that denotes if you need to flip 2 or 3 of those cards.
That can max out. It doesn't end the game.
Oh, I thought that ended the game too.
No, basically, if you get to the end of that bar, your game is done no matter what.
Okay, so yeah, basically you still lost.
Yeah. The collaborative side of this game is my favorite part because
I really like the like profession cards. What are those called?
just
the
players.
roll cards.
Yeah, the roll cards.
Yeah.
Those were cool.
Giving each individual player individual weird abilities.
And you pick them without seeing them.
Yes, they're randomly assigned.
I like that because people would just play as the same one over and over if you did.
Well, there are some that we definitely thought were a little OP for certain games. The medic for the one game.
The dispatcher for the other.
I thought my guy was pretty cool. I don't remember what he was, but
Well, yeah, you could save the event cards.
Yeah.
And then also crop up research stations everywhere. So you have to have research stations. You can build them across the map, and the only way to develop a cure is to get to one of those research stations with the appropriate amount of research to develop the cure.
yeah, the operations expert is the one that I liked.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick your color piece either. It corresponds with your card.
Which is, again, pretty cool. I also like that there's 7 of the roles that you can have, and it's like, you're going to be something different pretty much every time.
Yeah, you'll never have the same team twice unless you either A, play a lot,
Yeah.
or B, have a lot of people in, which I think it's 4 players maximum.
Yes, this version is. There are the expansions where, like, you can have up to 6 or something. I think there's one expansion like that, so.
You can also scale the difficulty of the game, depending on how many pandemic cards you shuffle into the player's deck. The epidemic cards. The epidemic cards are kind of every player's nightmare. It makes the disease explode across the map and makes everybody's life way worse.
I like how the last time we played, you shuffled all 4 into the deck and then you drew all of them right out.
I know.
It's all your fault.
It
literally was your fault.
Apparently, however, I shuffled that because both times we didn't get the epidemic cards until the very end, and they all came back to back, which is the worst way to get the epidemic cards.
You are not shuffling those in ever again.
No.
It's not going to happen.
That's you. From now on, whenever we play, you have to shuffle.
Okay, but that means you have to actually invite me over to play.
We did today.
Yeah. And we're going to play Pandemic again, and again, and again, and all the Pandemic games.
I love this game so much.
Are you going to get the Cthulhu version?
I think I am going to get the Cthulhu version for me, actually, because I like monsters and I really like this game.
Yeah.
This game was dope. Australia and France both gave it awards, and the USA gave it awards twice, so that's pretty cool.
Ooh.
There you go.
Are there any specific rules that you guys have problems with?
Nothing that I got a particular problem with necessarily. The only thing that is maybe a struggle is the amount of random chance in this game. If you get randomly the wrong abilities, the wrong roll cards that don't jive together. If you get cities that randomly or regions that get hit particularly hard and overflow rapidly, or having those epidemic cards just appear really clustered together towards the end of the game when there's not much you can do about them. It's frustrating, but it's just kind of also the nature of the beast. So I'm not sure if it's a problem, just...
One of the struggles of our game, that's for sure. Some of the rolls I wish they were maybe a little more even, a little more balanced, because some of them it's like, oh, this is really great to have, like, have this card. But then others, you're like, okay.
I think picking the profession randomly is supposed to be what balances it, maybe. The thing I don't like is you don't get to choose your own color piece. Not because I wanted a specific color piece, but if you play 2 games in a row and someone's got your old piece, you might accidentally move theirs and be like, oh, sorry.
There's a little confusion.
There was one game we played today where you and I kept moving each other's pieces the whole time.
Or we were playing around, okay, it's my turn, so I can move here. And it's like, oh wait, we've just made this whole plan and I was basing it off of my position.
The wrong spot.
Yeah.
We didn't really do that the second game, thankfully.
Practice.
We figured it out. But
we still haven't figured out how to beat it yet because we were playing on the easiest difficulty and we lost the board both times we played today.
Have you two ever won?
Yes.
I've never won, as you well know. I have not tasted the sweet, sweet teat of victory.
We were close both times. We'd cured 3 of the 4 strains. We were on the home stretch, and then the epidemic.
We were like 2 rounds away that last time.
The last time we ran out of cards as well. That was a kick in the butt.
That's what it was that got us.
You're timed against, every turn you draw, every player draws 2 cards, and there's, I don't know the number of cards in it, but you've got a set number of turns that you can play through.
Yeah.
And then you're done if you don't get aggressive and fast enough.
Yeah. I think, too, because we're pretty new players, and this was your first time playing it today, Hunt, so I think maybe given some time and some practice with the game, we'll definitely get better. Because the first time we played with, like, a vet player who'd been playing the game for years. Yeah. And it was very clear that he knew, okay, this is what we need to do. Okay, this is what we need to do. And it's like, I think there's a little...
That was actually Flyboy, who we referenced in a previous
very,
podcast.
very, very previous, very old episode.
Bringing it back.
We recorded that almost 2 years ago, that podcast.
No, it was a year ago. Because
2 years? I don't think the podcast is that old.
No, maybe not.
No, it was a year ago because...
It was before we were in our current employments.
Yes.
My previous employment.
But in those episodes, Big Boy Chungus had just died from the pandemic, actually.
That's right.
That was your reference.
He's always dead.
Okay, so maybe it's
when he's not here, I just tell everyone he's dead.
Year and a couple months then, I suppose. Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
He was hit by a car and thrown real far.
What, him or the car?
Him. Car hit him, he just flew away.
He's in some isekai world now.
It's like Yamcha hitting that baseball.
Oh.
The most obscure possible DBZ reference.
Yeah, that's a good one, though. So
the thing I have a hard time describing it, I mean, the game is a little hard to describe if you don't have the board directly in front of you, honestly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you got to point at.
It really does look like a Risk board, though. So imagine a Risk board, to be honest.
Yeah.
This game is so fun, though. I could have played this all day. to be honest.
So what was your favorite aspect about it?
My favorite thing about it was that it wasn't Risk.
Okay.
That's true of a lot of things, I bet.
I liked actually having to really plan stuff out, because you guys have seen me play multiple TTRPG characters, and I always play the planner, right? I always play the person that comes up with the plans. I like making plans. So I really loved that, just having to get together. Plus, I like the co-op a lot.
Yes.
I much prefer co-op games over competitive ones. I don't have a problem with competitive ones, but
it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, I just much prefer co-op. Whenever we play that Fallout game, that was, I think, our best episode, to be honest. I'm always like, we should work together to get the goal, and everyone's like, nah.
I like the co-op.
For himself.
Yeah. I like the co-op. I really do. I think it's also different, because I feel like most games is like against the other players. I like this one.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, one of my favorite things about it is, like, sometimes you sit there and you get so tunnel visioned in on, okay, maybe we could do this, and you propose the idea, and somebody says, we could do that. Or, and they point out a way more efficient way to do the exact same thing that you were trying to get done. And you go, yes, that's brilliant!
Like when you were trying to go from, what was it, Los Angeles to Tokyo to clear out that.
Yeah.
And you were going to do like a different place, but then you switched up where you were going, and then it ended up clearing out more stuff in the long run.
We were like, guys, it's a globe. You can just go the
other way.
Yeah.
Which is easy to forget, to be honest.
You go west until you get to the east.
If we didn't have the reminder on the map, we wouldn't have thought of it.
Yeah.
Just straight
Well, I
up.
think you were the one who got that hunt, actually. It was like, you could just go to the...
No, I think it was Karen,
Was it
actually.
Karen? You said you could just go to...
Okay, I remember. I got the Tokyo one, but in the previous round, you cleared out a lot of the blue ones.
I got those groupings of threes in Europe. Yeah, Europe would have gone over the next turn, and we were very relieved.
Because then it was blue that exploded, and then like yellow, and then red, and we had to like go from each color and stuff.
And we still lost, and it was still playing into the apes. But
yeah, I mean,
it was a good movie, so who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big scary mechanic in this game is the randomness, and then also each city can only hold 3 markers for disease spread, and if you go over 3, then you just have to put a single marker on all of the adjacent cities, which means if you've got 3 in 2 cities sitting next to each other, you could chain reaction an entire region.
Yeah, that could just end the game.
Yeah.
Just straight up end it.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to lose, and like one way to win.
Yeah.
There is only one way to win.
It's always stacked against you, but that's why it's challenging, and that's why it's fun. Matt Lecoq went hard on this one, for sure.
Did.
Yeah.
Good job, Lecoq. Change your name, though. If you're going to be plastering it on boxes, change it.
Nah, he's invested.
Use a pseudonym. Like, it's allowed.
Nah, he's invested now. He's known by this name. This is his name now.
No going back.
This is the name that got him fame. Ironically, this is what he actually changed his name to. You don't want to know what it was before.
Oh, Lord.
You know, I
bet
will
his name
say,
was Richard Woodcock before.
It was Penis Anthony Dublinier.
bringing it back to the game, I could see where this could be a great game with the right group, but I could see where this could be a terrible game with the wrong group if you start fighting with people on what needs to be done. We all tend to agree on what needed to be done. We tweaked each other's plans just a little bit, but usually
or
we
reminded
agree.
each other of, hey, you could do this instead.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I've got this ability that you've forgotten about.
Usually-
I think if the 3 of us were more experienced with this game, we would slay.
I think if we got a little bit luckier, because you've not seen all of the roll cards yet, and there were a couple of roll cards that if they had come up, make a huge difference.
Like the researcher.
I was about to say.
I never saw that.
That one, I forgot what it does, honestly.
So
Is the person on it kissable?
Yes.
Fantastic.
In this game, every turn you draw from the player deck, you get research cards, basically. You can only swap those research cards in the specific city that is on that research card. So that means if you want to hand so-and-so the Dubai card, then you have to go to Dubai. And you both have to be in Dubai. But the researcher can ignore that rule. And that saves you a lot of running around the map. And it lets you be a lot more efficient.
Yeah, I just looked at the researcher card, and it's literally just Keocat.
Is it
Oh.
really?
Yeah, okay, sure.
I mean...
It's literally... It looks kind of like her. It's her job. It's Keocat.
Already getting ready for the Power Ranger.
For what?
Isn't it Power Ranger? Is that what you're referring to?
No.
Kyo-Cat.
Oh, no, I do not know.
From our Avernus campaign.
Oh, sorry.
She's getting her doctorate.
You're right, I apologize.
Always on a microscope.
My brain is so sharp.
Injecting rats with methamphetamines.
Hey!
It's her job. Imagine having that as a job. Wow.
Jeez.
What a day.
No. Okay. Back to the game. Let's bring it back.
I definitely dispute that 8 years old is an age to try and show somebody this game.
Yeah.
I think that...
Yeah.
I think a 10-year-old could maybe handle it.
10, 11, 12, you start looking
But
like you
maybe
can do
not a group of 10-year-olds. Like there needs to be an adult at the table when this game is played.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like 8-year-olds aren't going to swallow the pieces. I think that's
okay.
I think the age and recommendation on this is for like safety purposes.
Okay.
It's not for this is the age that people play.
In which case, it needs to be up in the 20s because both of y'all nearly ate the pieces on your own.
Dude, that's true though. Because we were at the grocery store earlier. I was helping her shop because reasons, and I really wanted gummy bears and I didn't get them. And then because I'd just eaten it, and I was like, I don't need gummy bears. And then we got here and I saw these pieces, and I was like,
they look kind of like
gummy bears. I need them.
They look really good. They're these little cubes. I don't know why I'm describing this to the podcast, but they're really cute. They're little cubes. They look like gummies.
They look like little Jello cubes that you see at like SNS cafeteria or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what they look like.
What if we used gummy bears next time and it was like an invasion of gummy bears landed in the bears?
Every time you wipe the markers off a city, you get to eat the gummy bears.
That'd be dope. I would be diabetic. Just kidding. I'm bad at the game.
But when when the bag runs out, you're done.
Oh no, that's not a lot of gummy bears.
We'll get the XL.
That is not much.
Can we get Haribo to sponsor this?
Oh yes.
They got that gummy money.
Exactly. They got gummy money.
They could just sponsor me in gummy bears, honestly. I'd the gummy bear payment.
Send you a package of gummy bears.
You can survive off gummy bears for a limited time. Mash them, boil them, stick them in a stew.
Okay.
Thank you, Samwise Gamgee.
That OG internet content.
The references are real.
There's always more references when it's you two at the mic. Always.
Really?
Yeah, because your entire sense of humor are based off references.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Even though it's been mostly me making the references this episode.
So
I just match you.
Oh, okay.
You gotta match that energy in the room.
I don't think we've been too referencey today. Maybe.
I mean, maybe while we were playing, probably.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
If you can get this game, highly recommend.
Oh,
probably
yes.
my current favorite board game.
It's awesome.
Even over Catan.
It is
Whoa.
easily over Catan.
Yeah. I love
don't even
Catan,
like Catan
but
we need to do an episode on that.
Yeah.
You guys know that game inside and out.
Catan's a good one to like sit and chill and talk over. This one, you're not talking about anything but the game.
Oh yeah.
If you're playing Pandemic, you're playing Pandemic.
It's definitely all.
Put your phone down, turn a show off in the background. You don't have time for that.
You gotta play this smart. I only looked at my phone to show you guys Super Sentai pictures and one Godzilla picture.
Yeah.
And you asked for it.
We did.
I mean, yeah.
Because Milan?
Manila?
Manila.
And then you said you wanted to cosplay as a Rainbow Power Ranger. And I showed you the new Sentai leader.
Which I didn't know there was. I thought they were all like
there
solid
should be
colors.
like 2 Rainbow Rangers. There's a really old one in Japan too. I don't remember their name.
I feel like we've spent as much time in this podcast talking about anything but Pandemic.
It always devolves to Toku with me.
I mean,
Toku and
that's
Kaiju
okay.
every time.
That's okay.
Yeah, the hard thing about this game, I mean...
We are going to a Power Rangers convention. It's relevant.
Heck yeah.
It's going to be dope.
I'm really excited about this.
But yeah, that's probably it for Pandemic by Matt Lecoq and Z-Man Games.
Do you have any final thoughts?
I probably shouldn't have put so much emphasis on the end of his name. That's my final thought. I regret that. But I'm getting me a version of this game, 100%. This is some of the most fun I've ever had at the tabletop, for sure.
We're going to have to play it again.
Remember last time we played, I was shaking at the end because I was so mad. I was so invested.
Okay, we almost won. We were like 2 turns away, and we...
Stupid running out of cards.
Rage-inducing.
Break the arms off this antique chair they've had to listen to the whole episode.
I was thinking that, and I didn't want to say anything, and I'm like, maybe we shouldn't sit in the old chair.
It's better than Big Boy Chungus' neighbor's dogs barking the whole episode.
No,
Or doing one at my place and you hear the cows mooing in the background.
Or rubbing against your building.
On my YouTube videos, you just hear cows just screaming. Oh my gosh, I cannot find a place to record that's not noisy. But
we'll get there.
That's about the 25-minute mark. We have about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So,
Kami, do you have any final thoughts? I'm taking over your podcast now.
That's fine. Go ahead. I encourage it.
I've already talked too much. I think it's Karen's turn to add a little bit more to this conversation.
Oh.
She's always the quiet one.
Okay.
That's just kind of how it is. I'm sorry.
Tell us what you thought of... A while back, we did an episode on a very generic trivia board game, The Best of TV and Movies. You played that today.
Yes, I did.
Tell us if you liked it.
I love it because I love trivia. I'm a nerd. I'm sorry. I really like trivia.
You don't expect it to be as fun as it is, huh?
No.
That being said, the cards are mostly sitcoms and crime dramas that
Okay.
none of us have seen.
To be fair, 90% of television is sitcoms and crime dramas.
Fair.
Also, I'm not gonna lie. It's like you hit like parts where I was like, I've never seen that movie. I've never seen that movie. That movie. And it was just like 10 cards later. Have you seen this one? And I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that one.
You hadn't seen Alien.
You haven't seen MASH.
Yeah, you haven't seen MASH.
So what?
MASH is... I don't like aliens. I really don't like aliens. I'm sorry. It's just how it is.
This movie is for women. You should watch it.
Because of Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's not in Alien.
No, he's in the other one.
Predator. Sorry.
What are we talking about?
Predator, because you pulled the Predator card earlier.
Predator's not about anything, but Alien is.
I don't like aliens. They freak me out. Maybe
that's why you need to watch it. That's the point.
No.
You're supposed to be freaked out when you watch it.
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to watch an alien pop out of what is it?
Doesn't it
John
pop out
Hurt's
of
chest?
I thought it was.
Dope.
I don't know.
That was a good scene the first time you see it, and then every movie after that, it's not scary anymore. You expect it the whole time.
I don't like that. That would still get me every single time.
Well, you're gonna play the Alien TTRPG, and you're gonna like it. So
I am not playing an Alien TTRPG.
don't worry, I'm gonna make it a Hellraiser campaign. Also horror.
See, I don't mind horror.
Yes, you do. You wouldn't watch Pumpkinhead with me.
Well, that just sounded dumb.
Stan Winston is not dumb. Yeah, we're just trying to kill 5 minutes, honestly.
I mean,
no.
I try to make them 30 minutes at the least, unless I'm by myself, and then I try to go for 15.
Oh, you don't even make them 30 minutes when it's you and Big Boy Chungus talking about a board game.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we could have talked longer about Pandemic, but it would have just been me reading the rules off of the rule book.
Yeah, no one wants to hear that.
No
one wants to hear that.
You know, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think Matt Leacock would enjoy me reading off the rules to his game so people could reproduce it on their own.
Yeah, he's listening to this and he's like, I know the rules. I'm Matt Leacock. This episode I can technically mark as clean still.
Yeah,
and
you've
not
only said
explicit.
his name.
Matt Leacock. Matt Leacock.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
We get that.
I thought you regretted emphasizing the back half of his last name.
You guys are terrible at this podcasting thing.
Yeah, that's why I have one sponsor.
Aww.
Raid Shadow Legends! I just scared the crap out of you.
That would be the funniest thing if Raid Shadow Legends was sponsoring you.
That's a meme that Connor the Trading Card Goblin and I have. We'll just be talking and then insert a Raid Shadow Legends ad transition into the conversation. I did that to Karen recently, actually, on the phone. She got mad at me.
Why'd you shout? That is so mean. What if someone's listening to this
with the earphones in on max? Yeah, I hope they are.
That's so mean.
And I hope they're driving.
That's worse.
I'm just kidding.
That's terrible. I'm going to say this.
If they're wearing
about
headphones
the game.
while driving, it's their fault, okay?
I mean, that is actually illegal.
You guys are terrible. I'm going to say this about the game. I wish more games were co-op, and you know...
That's true. Most board games seem to be competitive.
And you know what? I'm going to buy different versions of the Pandemic and expansions, and it's going to be great, and we're just going to have a whole day of it. Boom.
This is not sponsored. I just want to support this. I just want to support my local comic shop because I've hit hard times with the pandemic, and comic shops are doing badly before that anyways. Mm-hmm. ComicsPlusAmaken.com has a bunch of pandemic stuff. Go check it out. It's on, if you list it alphabetically or something, I think it's on page 14 of their tabletop games section.
That's an impressive recall, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I recently looked at it. I sent it to Karen.
I wanted to surprise Kami with the pandemic game. I mean...
Yeah, I didn't tell him.
No, it was a great surprise.
It's a great game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Matt Lecoq.
Beautiful, beautiful man.
God, I'm funny. That's it. We hit 30. We're done.
Oh my gosh.
Just had to say Lecoq enough until we hit 30 minutes.
You're a sellout trying to make it 30 minutes.
I want the revenue.
That is fair. I want you to have the revenue.
And I've made like $5 off this podcast in a year.
Hey, are you having fun making the podcast?
Yeah, I don't actually even care about. I wasn't even gonna look for sponsors or anything. Anchor just gave me one.
That's awesome.
Okay, nice.
So that's it, everyone. Thank you all very much for the support. Kami and Karen will return for the next episode, which is over.
What?
Which is over.
Over.
What's the game we're gonna do next, Karen?
Ramen Fury by some people.
Jesus Christ. Okay, that's it. Thank you all once again. See y'all next week.